Hey buddy, Thomas here. Look at that beautiful tractor. This is our 700-hour review of the Massey Ferguson 2705E. Now Daniel just brought me my tripod. We're gonna go ahead and set that up. And just for your information, we have about 18 inches of snow out here. And what we're gonna be doing today is with a box blade, we're gonna actually push snow around so we can clear out some ground here so that our goats can walk around and not be trudging through this snow. Now, we use this tractor a whole lot for the sawmill, the buildings, and moving stuff around everything. I've had this tractor now for, over 4 years, I believe. We bought it when we actually bought it in Tennessee. We used it for a majority of our time in Mississippi, and now we're living up here in Wisconsin. So this tractor's been around, and it has been phenomenal. 700 hours later, I am not disappointed with the performance of this tractor and the reliability. There's been a few things I've had to fix on it over time, and I'm going to show you those things, and I've actually corrected one of those so it shouldn't happen again. But overall, very dependable tractor. There's a newer model of this. This is the 2705E. There's a newer model out there, and we're actually looking at that because we're looking to get another tractor. So very excited. We made it to 700 hours in this thing with quote-unquote, knock on wood, no issues. This tractor's been phenomenal. So without further ado, I'm going to do a real-time video showing us pushing all the snow around here, and then we're going to go ahead and do some time lapses and stuff like that. And then we're going to do a walk around the tractor and show you the ins and outs of it, and again, just going to talk about the great things this tractor's done. Okay, so now you've seen the actual real-time pushing around. It handles snow, no problem. It's heavy enough. It's a heavy tractor. And again, I only have the R4 tires on there, and it can actually move some snow around without being, pushed around. I mean, it really can move snow. So let's go ahead and throw in a time lapse now, and I'll clean up the rest of this stuff here, and then we're gonna do, like I said, that walk through the tractor. All right, folks, not too shabby. The goats are more interested in getting out where I got the tractor through. We got a snowplow truck working on the road here. But yeah, now they have some ground to work on, or walk on, excuse me. We did have a male goat out here recently, so hopefully they are bred and we will have goat babies for the summertime, and then we'll have milk pretty much all through, you know, late summer, fall, and then we'll kind of, you know, shut them down after about Christmas time or something like that, and then do the whole thing again. So okay, there you have it. There's the Massey Ferguson 2705E. Absolutely love this tractor. It's been a workhorse around the farm. Some of the things I want to talk to you about on this tractor, I'm going to try my best not to have a dog run into my tripod underneath here, but first things first, lots of room to get in it, on and off of the machine. The seat, yes, over time this seat has ripped up, but I don't really know of too many farm tractors who don't have ripped up seats. The good thing is it doesn't seem to hold a ton of water or anything. I don't seem to get my butt wet on there. I have broke off the light on here. I have super glued that on there once before and then hit some more limbs and broke it off, so I'll have to get that fixed up, but it does work. It just kind of flops around a little bit. The tires, like I said, are R4 tires, and they do pretty well for most situations with the snow and stuff like that. However, on our driveway we do have a slight hill to our driveway. You can kind of see it, there's a hill right there. Once I do that first layer of snow off of there, then it starts to get slippery, because you essentially make ice, and they don't have the best traction, but if I got some chains on here I could probably do it. But to tell you the truth, I can get by because I mostly push now, and I will use my bucket once I get everything off that I can. Then I'll go back with a bucket and start scraping the surface off, and that gets a really good clean. The engine is well protected in its, you know, metal hood, and then all these little shields here on the side. I have used this like a bulldozer. As you can see, I do have sections that are dented in and beat up and stuff like that. But to tell you the truth, this tractor has withstood all the abuse that I've put at it. You know, I've dropped plenty of limbs on here and stuff like that. It's held up. We've had a John Deere. Oh, my dad has a John Deere. We busted that hood, and I want to say it was like $800 for the new hood. It was very expensive. That thing's pretty stout. Now, one thing I will say that I've done multiple times is I have pressed this right here in, so much so that I can't really open the hood easily. Every so often I gotta hook a chain to this and to the front end loader and pull that back out. In fact, you can see that is bent there because, again, I use it like a bulldozer, and sometimes that gets hit, but that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to protect, you know, the front end of the tractor here and that radiator that's behind there and the battery and stuff like that. It does a decent job at that. So I've got some leaks right now, but all hydraulics on tractors should leak. That's how you know you still have hydraulic fluid. The only issue that I have had multiple times is this lever right here. Now, this boot right here, I've actually had to put this back together because it's kind of, in my opinion, not the best design. And I'll put a link to the description below here, but there is a nut on the back side that loosens up over time, and the only way to fix that nut is you have to take all of this assembly off and then, you know, put it back together. What I did this last time, fool me once, you know, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Well, the third time it happened, I'm not going to say who was at blame on that one, but it was me. I went back in there and I put Loctite on everything, and I have not had an issue since then. That was probably about 6 months ago, so very happy with finally putting Loctite on there. Yeah. You know, I've talked about this many a times in my videos. I'm going to put some kind of decking system on here, like the roll-on non-skid stuff, like the Rhino liner. In 4 years of use, that's what it looks like. It's not too bad. I mean, I use it enough. No rust really builds up on here. There's no major pitting. It's a pretty good surface. Now, I will say this. During wet conditions, it's not that bad. whenever it's icy and you get some snow on there, you have to be very careful because it wants to slip. These little circles here, right here, do provide some traction, but they're just not not that great. So maybe eventually I'll put a roll-on, truck liner bed system or something like that. But for the most part, it's holding up just fine. I got a hold of some bad fuel a while back, but again, I like how they have these water separators and stuff like that. Very simple and everything. Just, to remove the water out of there, easy. The fuel tank being down below, absolutely love that. I have one little complaint though, and it's only happened to me twice, but whenever you get like a limb, you can see I've had some things here, but if you get a limb on here, I've had this kind of start bending back and everything, but I don't know what type of plastic or whatever it is. It's pretty flexible. You'd be surprised, but it didn't break anything. But you have to be careful if you ever get a limb stuck between right here. If you get a limb stuck between here, then that can kind of be hit. Let's see, what else do we have? Everything back aft here has been pretty good. The indicator down there tells you how much oil, or if you have oil and everything, that actually works pretty well. I actually do have to change out the hydraulic fluids here soon. I've done it once before, but we'll have to do it here soon. I think at 800 hours maybe. I can't remember exactly. And we'll change out some filters. That'll be a video upcoming. And then underside of this. Now we have a lot of buckthorn in the area. Buckthorn is pretty rough. What I mean by that is you will get branches and such underneath here, and they will get stuck into the underbody. Okay folks, we're underneath the tractor now. As you can see, you've got this one plate right here, and I do tend to get branches stuck up between that plate. As you can see, she's bent up a little bit. It's connected on either side of the fuel tank, and I guess it just adds rigidity and support to the fuel tank. So it's not really a supporting member, but it has been bent up on me. Other than that, sorry, I got my dog like in my face. It's been pretty good down here. I've had no issues with hitting any of these lines or anything, or hitting in these cables. And I, again, use my tractor like it's a dang bulldozer. So yeah, now we're gonna show you, there's Daniel, we're gonna show you up forward. I will say I did have an issue with getting water in my front differential, and I'll show you what we had to do to get that out. Okay, so here on the front differential, to fill it, you have your plug right here, your cap, excuse me. Let's see if I can get this off right now. Yep. So you take this off. I'm trying to do this one-handed and hold a camera, and then you actually have your fill. Now, one thing is there's no gasket on this, and it's just almost like a flush mount. It's not kind of recessed or anything. I believe that I probably had, when I sank the front end or something like that, maybe that might not be the best seal or something like that, but I got water in the front differential. Now the good thing is, on the bottom, see this little nut right here? You take that nut off, it allows you to drain each side of the differential. So this is, of course, the right side here, and there's the same one on the other side. Now, another cool thing is, if you did get water in your differential, and say you got into very, very cold temperatures and it froze, well, on the bottom here, I can't really get underneath there, but on the bottom here, there's a big freeze plug. That freeze plug will push out so that it doesn't crack your front differential. So, pretty cool design, but again, really easy to drain this. I actually lifted the front of the tractor up, and then I pushed down on this side of the axle, made this the lowest spot, drain this out, and then did the same thing on the other side, and then filled her back up with the same hydraulic fluid that goes in the rear. And it's actually the only hydraulic fluid that they use for everything. So yeah, other than that, fantastic tractor. In many years of use, it has been a great tractor. It's been probably the best tractor I've ever owned. We've had a couple John Deeres and such, and I'm not gonna lie, this one, for the price point where it was and everything, and a utility aspect of it. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but it is a dang good tractor. I cannot complain what it has done for me and what it has done for our farm. And I cannot imagine living without a tractor. A tractor is like a necessity now around the farm, and especially with the sawmill. So if you have any questions or comments, I'll put some other links to this same tractor down below, other videos I've done, and also show you the repair where I did that front end loader. So yeah, great video, hopefully, and great tractor. All right, we'll see you around. Please like, subscribe.